This is the You, Me, and BTC podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Google, play the latest episode of the You, Me, and BTC podcast. I added us to Google Play this week, so I think Google Homes will listen to that. I didn't actually try it yet, but we'll find out. Not that I'm a huge fan of Google, I just thought it was cool and I really want that to work. So maybe, hopefully you're listening to me and I just triggered a repeat again.
Nice.
So enjoy the echo. I am Daniel Brown. I'm here with
Tim Baker. Woo!
Holy crap, we got some
Sorry, I'm
fun
bringing energy.
Yeah, I ain't got none of that. We got fun stuff scheduled for today. I promised you last week we were just gonna friggin' dive into it. What do we do? What do we do? I need help, Tim. What do I do? What do I do? I'm a tax slave. Maybe that's what I should have titled this, like Tax Slaves Anonymous or something. Or Tax Cattle Anonymous. That's what we're all about today. You know, there might be some Bitcoin here and there, but plenty of liberty, no doubt about it. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday night, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and real quick flip on my screen share so you can see the place to be tonight. This is you, me, and btc.com/live. That'll get you right here. You can watch the stream. You can jump in the chat. You can read some show notes. And I actually don't have links tonight for the exact same reason I was just describing. We are just going to dive into this topic. We didn't need any news or whatever. We're just going to freaking go at it. But hey, real quick, one hilarious piece of news that's just now breaking. Oh, Twitter was blowing up, and I had plenty of good laughs. Apparently, quite literally, half of Americans' social security numbers were leaked by Equifax, who is supposed to secure all of our credit histories or whatever. Did you see anything about that, Tim?
No, I kind of just assume that they just do that on a pretty regular basis.
Exactly. That's why it's so funny, because as Bitcoiners, we're just like, yep, never expected anything from Social Security anyway. So
Yeah, my
have fun,
mom.
guys.
My mom is one of those people who's always like, don't. Like you don't have to put your social security number on that paper. Like they already have it if they want it. It doesn't know. It's not that
Exactly.
hard to get.
They can get whatever the heck they want. Except my Bitcoin. You're never getting that. No, I probably just jinxed myself.
Yeah, no, you're getting cavity searched.
Yeah, well, that's the news right now. That's all you get for today, because we got better things to talk about. But hey, I want to flip. I turned it off, but I want to flip back on my screen share, because another big part of the landing page here is the poll at the bottom. Geez, we just started 3 minutes ago. We already got 46 votes. Here's the question. You wake up and realize that you're a tax slave. Now what? Option 1, run away, or in parentheses, that would be expatriate or go. Is that the right? Is expatriate? Is that right?
I think so.
Did I say that right? All right. So option 1, run away, which would involve expatriating or going off grid. Option 2, argue with the masters. All right. So are you going to go lobby for more freedom? Are you going to go to the Senate or run for Senate and argue with the other masters? I don't know. That's option 2. Option 3, are you going to rally your fellow slaves? That might be kind of like revolution, depending on how you interpret it. It's Twitter, so I only got like 20 characters. But yeah, you could rally your fellow slaves, or you could do something else. And we got some replies already that we will get to in a moment. Thanks for that, guys. Definitely love your replies. We'll take more if you want to jump in the chat or leave a reply on Twitter. We'll take that and read it if you get it in before we stop streaming. All right. So this, once again, is you, me, and btc.com/live. And now I'm turning it back to Tim, because like I said, I just need freaking help. I don't know what to do. I woke up. I gave last week, I gave the scenario that, like, imagine ignoring race. All right. Ignore race. That's irrelevant. But imagine it was like the 1800s and you woke up and you were a slave. Your job was just to go pick cotton. What do you do? What do I do, Tim?
Uh, you personally, or you as a scenario everyman, like
Whoa, whoa,
you're
what does that mean?
like personally for you, because I think it does depend.
Oh,
The
you
same
mean
thing.
as Daniel Brown? What do you think Daniel Brown specifically should do? Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to hear that. Yeah, what should I do?
Okay. Daniel should probably keep his mouth shut and just listen to what he's told to do.
All right.
But I do think it depends on, like, using the analogy for the as is like the slaveholder, which I do get, and I'm surprised more people don't bitch about libertarians using it as like the I think it's probably because people just don't even give it any thought. Where there's, how is it even slavery? It's just rah, rah, rah. But it does work on the what percentage of, like, if taking 100% of what you produce and your wealth is slavery, at what percentage does it not become slavery? Like, is it a
Right,
percentage
right,
thing?
right, right. Wait,
Because
but
they
real
don't
quick,
keep.
before you get on too far, I just want to confirm what you just said. Are you saying that you're surprised how little slack we get for saying that we're slaves? Are you saying that you would expect status to just like harass us for that?
Yeah, I would think that that would get made fun of more. Just because I don't really have, not to say I don't really have that much of an interaction with a lot of people. I'm going off of like other shows that I listen to, but you'll get, like, I listen to a few shows where they're kind of like Bernie bro type guys, but most of their complaints about libertarian and stuff like that is the
Oh,
lack of their,
it'll be
yeah,
chaos.
yeah, that, and like the lack of like a public safety net, and that there's a lack of
Yeah, yeah.
feeling like trying to be good for people.
We need roads, but my roads.
Yeah, especially with these people who aren't doing anything in particular to help people, but whatever. Um, I do think that it probably depends on your master, which, like, partly we all are under the master of whatever the federal, but then you also are, I would say, more directly under the under the, well, no, how much are federal taxes compared to state? Let's go
Oh, good
tax,
question. I would guess roughly equal, but that's a really good question.
because I don't remember like what I have to do, but I would say definitely it would depend on, like, if you're in Alaska,
Well,
they don't
what
like.
difference does it make? What if I ask that? Like what I have no idea where my taxes go. I have no idea how much goes to state, how much goes to local, how much goes to federal. I don't even read those numbers on the paycheck. So what difference are you saying it makes?
Because from a practical standpoint, it's easier to live with it than to somehow just try to change something that 95% of people want to continue, or maybe even more, like, or that they don't want to continue, but they consider it a necessary evil, whatever that entails, and they insist on that idea. So sometimes, depending on where you are in your status, it's easier, and like, you don't have an obligation to, if you're going to try to live as free as you can, you don't have an obligation to also just tell that to everybody. Like, you can live pretty freely. I mean, you just try to not be bothered. You try to live the best you can without the government interfering with your life to a certain extent. That doesn't mean you break every law, because some of those laws are very easy to get caught, and you don't want to do that either. That's one option. I would say, like, if you say you're going to rally people or um challenge the masters, that's like activists. That's just like, and but most of those people aren't coming from a comfortable base. They're like, I need to try to live not working in a Kmart, and I want to spend my time trying to, like, do, at least nowadays they do the YouTube videos, so it's entertainment, but like also just to get donations, just to be able to talk. It just kind of spread up. They talk about stuff, but it's very specific. Not like us, we're so varied and different. But that would be like, if I would say, probably if you live in a little bit less of a cool life, I would say, sure, get into the black market. I get, like, live, like, especially against.
What do you mean less of a cool life? Are you saying if
Like,
you're not an activist?
no, I mean, like, if we're talking specifically Daniel Brown, I think you are at a stage right now where you're probably good, because you're not getting, like, you're getting hit with taxes, but you're not in a bracket yet where it's crazy, but you're at a bracket where, like, you can pretty comfortably support yourself, I'd imagine, I believe.
Yeah. Are you saying a high bracket would be worse?
Yeah, because you're just going to get more. You're going to have more taxes on you.
Well,
You're
yeah,
losing more than doing like an expat thing where then you just work from some
well,
place.
at a higher percentage though, that doesn't affect your living status because it takes a higher percentage of your income, but your disposable income after taxes is still going to be higher. It's not like I'm going to start making $1 million per year and all of a sudden I'm only living on, $500 a month.
No, but it also depends on what they do in the next couple of years. They're definitely going to. I would completely bet on them increasing the kind of the percentage of taxes you have to pay.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
higher
yeah,
things like
yeah.
that.
Almost no question about it. I mean,
And then
what incentive do they have not to do that?
yeah, no, nothing. As long as they get people, because now no one's even taught, like, both of the people beating each other up in the streets are supposedly against millionaires, except their own little pet millionaire who they like for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But they're all of them are against any kind of money, and it's just a bunch of dumb
Are
people
they
in the street.
against Bitcoiners?
I don't think they don't know about that yet, and they probably shouldn't. They just keep that quiet because they'll call you a crypto fascist or something like that, and you're trying to, yeah, just don't do that. But if you were getting up into a higher tax bracket or something like that, where then you are getting more, like a larger significant chunk of your money.
What would you consider a larger significant chunk of my money?
I've just like another 10%
A
or
percentage.
something.
Another 10%? Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how the tax system works. I just know we have a graduated or whatever. It just gets, the percentage is higher as you make more money. It's not as bad, but places like France, it's gone up to like near 100, like because everybody just leaves. Anybody who's making
Yeah.
money just leaves.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about expats
Yeah.
before. So where were you going with that? You're saying you should or shouldn't expat?
Well, again, that's where I would say if you are at a point where if you can make money offshore, wherever you're doing, you're able to, and then you do have whatever problem with just being a tax slave, you're going to get hit with it anywhere. But there's something called, you have to look this up, but it's like a perpetual traveler lifestyle or something like that, where you're just constantly moving around, where you pay some kind of taxes, but you don't get slapped with the big ones.
Right.
And I would say that is where, if you want to make the decision that you don't want to put the taxes in, either because you don't like the idea of being taxed or you don't like where it's going, and you try to take your your tax burden down.
Okay. Here, all right. This brings up a super good question. We've had similar questions like this on the show before, but here it is, a fresh take on it. Am I morally responsible then to expatriate because my taxes are going towards evil things? Does that mean I should take every step I can to stop giving them money?
No, just because it doesn't. Morality and all this stuff is, at least in my opinion, is developed for, like, as a way to, like, it's ultimately a way to keep people alive and keep people, like, to further life and to improve the quality of life. If you're doing something where more, like, it's the morality of the question of you're going to get killed if you don't do this, I've never really looked on it as that bad as just going like,
Well, no,
all right, whatever.
I know where you're coming from with morality. We have our differences, whatever. But regardless of where your morality comes from, I guess what I'm asking is, like, should anyone, regardless of your reasoning of what morality is and where it comes from, in your opinion, should I or anyone, should we, like, really strive to expatriate or whatever it takes to to stop paying taxes? I think we've I think we've asked almost this exact question before, but I want to know where you're at. Ignore, yeah, morality was what's the word? A buzzword? No. A trigger word? No. Something like morality was the wrong word to use there because there's all kinds of connotations. All I want to know is if you think anyone should strive to, expatriate almost regardless of anything else.
I think it's admirable. I think it's definitely, it's not like, but I don't see it as even something that is something as a positive. Like, just because something's admirable, just because it's commendable, doesn't make it positive. Like, it doesn't, you can say it is, but then I can also say it's affected your life in a negative way. It's subjective. But I do think it is commendable to, if you're complaining about it, to try to do something different, even if it's not expatriating. Don't That's what the whole, I think, or that's, I'm gonna I'm like, this is what it means to me. That's like what agorism means to me, is just trying to bleed the state and trying to, I guess, whatever they like, you counter economics, where it's like, it's not about breaking law or something. It's not like these anarchists that are like, oh, we're going to go smash banks or something like that. It's, you do whatever your business you can out of the hands of, or out of, yeah, whatever. If you tip somebody, you tip them in cash and you write 0 on the credit card thing, because then that way it's just completely, it's completely separate. You try to, but then this is something where you, because of the way that we complain about it and the way that we rail against the whole tax slavery thing, it does almost have to be something where like every single part of your life has to be devoted to it because of how much you bitch about it. Even, like, we would have to spend so much time.
I kind of get what you're saying. Like, yeah, if you're gonna bitch about something, you should be prepared to do something about it. But at the same time, the reason I'm not compelled to just, revoke my citizenship tonight, not that I ever was a citizen, I never agreed to anything, but if I was a citizen, the reason I wouldn't just instantly be trying to flee, and this again goes back to the irrelevance of morality. Like, regardless of where my morality is coming from, regardless of why I think something is good or evil or right or wrong, if I think that my taxes are going to evil things, that doesn't make, nothing is my fault. I'm not the one charging myself taxes. So no matter why I think it's wrong or what I think is wrong about it, it's not my fault. I'm not doing any of this crap. So if I'm not gonna, give up my life and flee because of them. We say this about privacy, right? If you commit your life to never using Google, you've already lost, or whatever your privacy thing is, encrypting emails or whatever. If you commit your entire life to that, you've already lost. Well, it's the same thing. If I flee, unless, there's plenty of good places to go. I'm sure plenty of people have fled and gone to great places. I know Jeff Berwick lives in a freaking mansion in Mexico or whatever. Good for him. So maybe I should look into it, consider it. But still, regardless, it's not my fault. So I don't need to feel compelled to do something about it and just, and inconvenience myself. It's not my fault. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying before, because it is something where we do kind of have a gun in our backs, if not our head. Like, there's always the threat of violence on top of not paying taxes. People say you can get away with not doing it for a while, but they always might just want to make an example of you. It's kind of because it seems at least very random who they pick on. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you do get they do focus on certain kinds of people, but the individuals of those people seem a little bit random. But yeah,
Well, yeah, that goes for anything, taxes or drugs or whatever. Man, They nail some people. I had a buddy just recently, a few days ago, was saying how confused he was because, you know, they might nail a college student for having 3 flakes of marijuana and it ruins his life. And then there's like entire families that just live in trailer parks doing God knows what drugs. And they're just there for decades and generations. And it's true. Like it is so incredibly arbitrary. You know, the laws themselves are arbitrary. The people that make the laws arbitrarily make the laws or make them for perverse incentives. But then you got to follow that perverse trail all the way down to the enforcers who may or may not be racist and may or may not care about people or certain people, or there are so many variables. And it kind of comes back to what we said last week. You can call me out for oversimplifying if you like, but I don't care because it is simple. Frig off. So anyway, that was a kind of a tangent just about
Ricky.
yeah, just about your comment how it was kind of arbitrary who they go after. But
well, yeah, there's that, and then okay, the only other point that I have there is it's literally being threatened with something or a gun, and like why not just save yourself? Because like it I mean you can be a martyr for something, but that doesn't achieve any like
okay. This is a perfect, I think, I'm not sure where you're going, but I think it's a good place to bring up the analogy again. You literally wake up on a dirt floor in a cabin, ready to go pick cotton, okay, regardless of race, remember. Like in that scenario, what do? You were talking about running away, expatriation. Is that what we should do? I want to know what your Underground Railroad is. Do you plan on, you know, figuring out how to safely just run away? Do you plan on trying to figure out how to persuade your master? Okay, so ignore taxes. Let's say you're literally a working, you know, physical labor slave. What do you do? Because we talked all, like I said, we covered expatriation a lot just now. But I want to make it simpler. All right, remember oversimplification. I want to make it as base as possible. Someone is forcing me to do anything, work. Okay, someone is forcing me to do work. What do I do? What would you do? I mean, yeah,
I would wait. I would wait for the cotton gin to get invented and then make me obsolete. Is probably what I would do. I would not be. That's kind of what I was talking about, because it does depend on like how bad it is. Like if you're at a plantation where it's just like I don't know, like whippings daily.
I'll be right back. 30 seconds.
Okay, Daniel's leaving us. I would definitely be. It depends, and like that's more me just being a bitch and less of like actually believing anything. It's just because I would be too scared, and I would figure eventually I don't know what would happen. But especially now, like if we're not using that analogy, and I'm sorry, there's something in my eyes really bothering me.
You don't need your eyes for radio, Tim.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's why I took my glass off. Everything's blurry now. Blah, blah, blah. What? Okay, now I'm kind of optimistic, I guess, about the future for things, just because I think some point soon the actual like who makes money most of the time. Like this is kind of just coming to me right now. I haven't really thought about it too much before, but I would be willing. It wouldn't be hard for me to believe that in like the next couple like 20 to 30 years, a lot of the stuff that's making money is mostly just like computers or stuff like that, like point of service for pretty much everything.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about the cotton gin. Do you seriously think they're not going to come up with some other use for their slaves if they have you? And same thing with computers. Do you seriously think they're not going to come up with some kind of use for you if
not if it's less expensive?
Computers doing everything.
Not if it's more like it's going to change into like sharecropping afterwards, but it's going to be.
It doesn't cost them anything to tax me.
Yeah, it does.
No, they make money. That they wouldn't do it if it costs them money.
Like
that's the whole point. The point is they're stealing from me.
I think it would get smaller because as like get smaller as in push people out at the bottom, so you have more like less people to suck up the tax money. Or
so you're saying technology would just make us all elites, so we wouldn't need to worry about?
No, I'm saying that technology would make us obsolete as far as making money. We'd still like, I'm sure we'd still be doing something, but it might even be then just like you're just allowing them to use your computer. Like you're allowing them to use your computer to do something to make money. You don't.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good point. They're gonna have
supply the electricity. You supply.
They're gonna make you run the cotton gins, and yeah, cotton gins may be 10 times more efficient. So they're gonna get 10 cotton gins for every one slave, and just start producing 10 times as much cotton. You don't think they're gonna figure that out?
No, because you have to. I mean, it's different because it's slaves who were oftentimes kept from being able to read and kept pretty uneducated, and you had to have more trained people. I think use a cotton gin. I'm not really quite sure.
What?
But it makes a little bit more like it makes more sense. The setup they have now for slavery.
Why do you have to read to use a cotton gin? What is that? That makes no sense at all.
I think it's more of an intricate machine. I'm not sure. It's
turn the crank.
I think that at some point, because they do realize that it's easier to tax people and to keep it as a slave base if you don't have to keep and feed the people and house them and everything. You just do the sharecropping thing, which is why like that was so fucked up, because they're like, all right, everybody get off the farm, and then they're like, okay, we don't have anything now. Is like, as African American, they didn't have anything going off of that. So then they're like, okay, you can farm this. You're just sharecroppers now. We'll barely pay you anything, and now we don't have to pay for your house. We don't have to feed you, and then that's taxes now too. They don't have to house us. They house some people. They house like they use it as an excuse to spend more money and to take in more money. But they do, or even if it does come from a good place of trying to help some people, they still rob it from the rest of people. Yeah. Which, regardless of how it's used, morality wise, it doesn't matter. Now, there's a lot of movies where, we feel bad for this bank robber or whatever because he's doing it for his daughter who's dying or something like that. I don't give a fuck. He stole my money. Fucking shit. But I think if you have anything to say it, because I'm trying to.
Well, I do need to read the tweets that we got, so I might as well flip on my screen share again so that you guys can see it. This was the same question as in the poll. What would you do? What would you do? You just wake up one day and you're like, holy crap, I'm being forced to do X, Y, or Z. That's as simple as it gets. You wake up and you're just, oh, dang, my entire life I've been throwing money at these people because they're going to cage me if I don't. And you suddenly realize that, okay? The question is, what next? What next? So yeah, I read the poll earlier, but one of the options was other. I propose we do something else. And let's see, the first one, this one, I don't know if I get this one. I don't know what taxation and insurance is. But Mark Noble said, none of the above. Buy taxation insurance to pool resources with other red-pilled slaves. And then there's a red pill emoji. So, first of all, Tim, I think we just talked about this a week or two ago. Red pill means you get it, right? Is that right?
I'm pretty sure it's from the Matrix. It's where instead, you don't take the blue pill. You don't just accept the lies of the world. You go deeper into the rabbit hole, and I think it's No, it's not. Okay, I thought maybe it was from Alice in Wonderland partly, but I don't think it is. I think it's like cake in that or something.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Well,
where the idea comes from.
okay. That makes sense because he's saying he wants to pool resources with other red-pilled slaves, with other people who get it. But how would taxation insurance work, and how would that enable the pooling of resources? So is that saying like, yeah, I don't know what I looked it up. I put it in quotes, taxation insurance, and all I could find was stuff about like, how much are they going to tax you on life insurance? Like, no, that's not what we're talking about. It sounds like he's saying you would pay a regular fee to the insurance company, and the insurance company would pay your taxes if you got taxed. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. First of all, before I go on, does that sound right to you, Tim? You pay for insurance in case of, like, normally it's like in case of a flood. Speaking of floods, it's great time to talk about floods.
Oh, that's a sensitive issue, Daniel. Too soon.
You pay for insurance to cover bad things. So I'm going to pay for insurance to cover my taxes. That's kind of what it sounds like. Does that sound right to you, Tim, before I go on?
No, my idea for what he meant by that was put money into like stuff that is away from taxes, or like some kind of investments that they can't tax or something like that. I don't know if there's anything called literal. But that would be my idea.
I guess that's true. That's always an option. That's just, get out of taxes somehow. That's a good idea. Kind of like expatriation. But even if you don't expatriate, you can look for those opportunities and, and try to take advantage of them. So yeah, maybe that's what he means. Yeah, I don't know. But he says taxation insurance. And I guess the idea is that you give a ton of money to this insurance company that's going to do something good with those pooled resources. I don't know what they would do with it. But anyway, so thanks for the reply, Mark Noble. Let us know if you have more details, because I kind of want to know what you mean. Excuse me. The other reply we got was from, holy cow, how do you say this? Xochilipi Inlakek. Xochilipi Inlakek. I'm sure that's not close, but refuse taxation. Go off grid. Argue. Rally. Don't run. Hashtag counter economy. Hashtag boycott fiat. Boycott fiat. I don't know if I said that right. So he says all of the above. Go off grid. Argue. Rally. And then agorism, like you said, Tim. Boycott fiat. And he has some pictures here of like, what is that? Like a 5-gallon hydroelectric generator, a garden, rainwater collection, and I'm assuming some kind of water heater, maybe. I don't know. But yeah,
Stove, I think.
That's kind of what you were saying about agorism, right, Tim? Just find your own way to do things and tell them to shove off.
Yeah, or not, yeah, you don't even necessarily have to go that far. You're being super aggressive. Just tell them to shove off with your actions.
Wait, what?
Like,
what do you?
Okay, I guess what I'm saying is, in the whole thing, there's no help to you in telling them that you're doing this, and that's, I guess, what I would say. And if this is going back to where you were talking about, like, rallying people and like talking about it, that makes sense for somebody if they want to be an activist, if they want to be a martyr. But if you do want to live a continued free life, I would not advise that, because half the reason.
Okay. But you got to understand, Tim, that's the question. I'm asking you, would you, like the whole premise of this episode, I'm asking you, which would you do? Would you be an activist and go martyr? Okay.
No, I'm going to bitch out and just run away and just, I'm telling, dude, whenever I've gotten pulled over twice, and in all of my years, and it happened in the same month because I had the fucked up back part of my car, and they're like, this guy's poor, let's get him. But both times I get super like, oh, yes, sir, yes, no, I don't, yes, sir, yes, oh, please, oh, no, I'm sorry, sir. because it's like it's not going to help me to go. Like I record it.
I know my rights.
I'm always like, don't say that. Why would you say that? He's only going to get angry. Just be like, like if you are actually in a situation like, I don't want to talk without a lawyer. You don't even have to be like, I don't have to answer any questions. Just be like, I want to talk to a lawyer, because it's not aggressive. It's just like, I do not want to be held responsible for what I say because I'm going to be stupid right now. So just like, if you have to be like, be slavey about it. Like, I do get like how kind of like soul crushing that is for some people. And I do like, but it's never really, I'm not one to feel too much shame normally. As long as I'm still, like that's what I was saying before about the cotton gin. I'd probably wait around because, like I was saying, unless it was awful, I'd be like, this isn't so bad. I mean, whatever.
Get free food.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't like. I just wouldn't, in general, want to live back
buy a gym membership. Just work out automatically every day.
Well, yeah, at least then I would be actually athletic. That'd be kind of cool. Be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the replies, guys. I think, I think whoever that second guy was, I'm going to screw up the name again. Xochilipi Inlakek. I think he actually accidentally replied with the same thing twice. And I know he did because I can see both of them. So
I think he messed up.
Yeah, guys. Hey, that is at you, me, and BTC if you want to keep up with all of our tweets and polls and whatever we got. Geez, it can be all over the place. I'm the only one that has access to that Twitter. I wouldn't dare give it to Tim. So if you ever want to know when I'm on the can, just go look for all my retweets. And you'll know. But yeah, hey, we'd love for you to follow us. We'd love for you to tweet us. Leave us a reply on any tweet we send out. Let us know what you want to hear on the show, what you want to hear, what you want to see on your Twitter timeline. We're open to feedback. Any ideas that we could use or do or improve? So
until Daniel gets on his band hammer.
What about a band hammer?
Nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. I promise I don't have any problems, sir.
When have I ever?
I don't mean anything, sir.
Geez. Well, Tim, is there anything we still got to cover? I mean,
well, Trust Tay says he's going to build a techno barge, which I'm kind of cool with, just because that mostly just sounds like a place where everybody just does ecstasy and listens to electronic music.
Whoa.
What?
I got to refresh. I was wondering, how much chat has there been? Oh my gosh, how much did I miss? I've been watching it this whole time. It just quit loading.
Oh, well,
I just had to refresh.
That's because your internet's bad. I am a lady, but yes, I do apologize. I didn't know.
I am so sorry, guys, because I was wondering why is nobody chatting? We got several viewers. Like, I feel like somebody would be out there saying something, and I was real confused, and I kind of felt, delegitimatized. I felt like I failed this week.
I mean,
but
you did.
Luckily. Okay, well, in that case, we're gonna go through the chat real quick because we can't miss that. NY Cartoons, probably like an hour ago, said, "What up, guys? What up, NY Cartoons? How's it going?" Tim says, "I'm just listening to Daniel prattle on." Prattle.
Words.
Yeah. I like words that don't really have an official definition, but you just know what they mean. I mean, you just prattling on. I don't know.
Prattling.
What else we got? Yeah, Trust Tay. I want to get a techno barge to live free. If my whole buy land / live high tech off the grid doesn't pan out. Yeah, the barge thing is actually a legitimate idea. I mean, a lot of people are just, putting up or at least talking about putting up, artificial island nations where there is no law because you're just in the middle of the friggin' ocean. It's been considered a lot. And same thing with space. People talk about going to Mars or the moon. Like, screw you guys. I'm gonna do what I want in space. So yeah. What else we got here? I know in real life the barge is too weird, unsafe, attracts attention from authorities. Yes, I'm not really going to disagree with that, because if you're still on Earth, they're gonna find you. I mean, it's going to attract attention. You're dead right.
Maybe. I mean, as long as you keep the techno down and then you use a burner phone for all the XE, you might be okay. I don't know, but I'm definitely down for the whole like live out in the middle of the sea on a bunch of barges and just be like, this is my own country, just because I think it would be cool and kind of just something dumb to do for a little bit. Like if someone was like, come work on my boat in the middle of the ocean for 3 years, I'd definitely do it. Just for the sake of possibly dying while having a sovereign nation, I would be fine with that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, she says Peter Thiel is a seasteader as well. So yeah, it's a possibility. It's better. I would say it's significantly better than expatriating, because you're literally like, maritime law, anything goes, and you got a barge, you can build some houses, or you connect to the internet via satellite, or whatever it takes. I think it's weird because it's so incredibly artificial. Like the government, the US government or whoever is like, especially once they know you're there, they're going to be like, well, we could go after them, but this piece of paper that we signed 200 years ago says, we're not supposed to declare war. Like that's the thing. Like they probably would leave you alone, just because, you never really know though. They might declare war on you anyway. Who knows? I probably made no sense with those few sentences, huh?
No, you got to play the numbers game, and that's okay. Like you can do some dumb shit. It's just that you can't. You do have to accept that there is some risk, but then try to just do. It's the whole. You don't have to run faster than the bear, just faster than the other person. You don't have to be smarter than the government. You just have to be smarter than somebody else trying to do the same thing as you. So yeah, it depends.
Sometimes you get the bear. Sometimes the bear gets you.
I mean, hopefully the bear never gets you, because after the bear gets you, there isn't too much after that. You don't really get to get the bear.
I'm excited. I'm ready to close it off with some advice of the week, and close it off a little early. NY Cartoon says, don't forget guns and ammo. Of course, that's always a necessity. I was talking with some family earlier today. They're kind of conservative and just joking about how nobody has a chance about defending themselves from the government. Like, we just don't. They have tanks and grenades and nukes. But at the same time, like, why the frick not? If they're going to let you stock guns and ammo, then you might as well. Like, it's not going to hurt anything. So, yeah, I'm all for that idea. You never know. Maybe you will end up with a Cajun militia or something.
Anyway. The Cajun Marine Corps.
If you know the weather, this is Trust Tay again. If you know the weather, you can always follow the good calm waters. Mine Bitcoin with water cooling. LOL. Yes, Russia will nuke me for no reason. I agree with that entire chat. Yeah, follow the calm waters. Mine Bitcoin. Frick yeah. And yeah, you might get nuked one of these days. You never know. Oh, geez. All right,
it happens to the best of us. It really does.
I know. Hate when that happens. You got any advice for us, Tim? I'll go first. I got a good one here. Ready? Try not to get nuked. I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying you'll succeed. I don't know how you're going to do that. I don't know how you're going to even try, let alone succeed. But that's still my advice, because I think it's good for you and good for the soul not to get nuked. So there's my advice of the week, guys.
It's like chicken noodle soup.
If you've never been with us before, that's how advice of the week works. Anything goes. It can be actual advice, or just some sort of proverbial thought or food for thought. you know, whatever, anything goes. So that's it can be about what we talked about, or about, you know, what you had for breakfast, or about how many times you took a dump today. Anything goes. So, all right, Tim, anything goes. What you got for us?
Regardless of if she is or is not truly a female, we do need to get behind Truste. We kind of do miss, I don't really remember her name, but we need to push the female audience. We need a Twitter barrage. Daniel needs to start working a better logo into there, but we need to push the female audience. As far as advice for the show, advice for all of you. Don't, yeah, I don't know. You say don't get nuked, but that kind of covers don't get arrested, don't get pulled over. It's just don't, like, just try to be ignored. That's the best thing.
Don't draw attention to yourself. Yeah.
Unless, like, again, unless you want to, unless you want to spend your life making videos and making a point of some kind of a stand. If you don't want trouble, it's pretty easy as far as a number game goes to not get trouble. So just be smart, I guess. Be smart. We don't want to lose any of you guys. We need you here every Thursday to listen to me and Daniel rant about things. So stay safe. We love you. And yeah, have a good week. Do yoga.
So we got, before we close out, I'm happy to do an early one today, because why the frig not? But we got another tweet here that's kind of confusing me. This is Dan Anderson at Droplister. Yikes, you think I'm a slave? Pray tell, how am I so high right now with monies in and out of the bank? What? That's the end of the tweet. How am I so, if you think I'm a slave, then how am I so high right now with monies in and out of the bank? Like, what? I think he might be a little high.
Well, that, and I mean, he's doing the thing of, like, how could you call us slaves? We're allowed to drive cars and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, I mean, yeah.
We're allowed to criticize the government, so we must be free.
Yeah, you're allowed to say things, man. It's like, so, okay, yeah, that's cool, but you also have to say, yes, please, no. Like, you're signing stuff. You're also saying, fine, take my money. You're not physically saying it, but you're signing shit. Whether you remember doing it or not, you did it in your mother's womb whenever she was in America. So, get rid of your mothers. That's the other advice of the week, because she forced you into this slavery, I guess. Would be the libertarian answer to this, is your mother is the ultimate slave owner.
Truste says that Twitter guy is forgetting he has to keep making money like the slave he is. I'm a female, damn it. So what? Been following you guys on this and maybe my Kitsubot channel. I don't know. Whatever. But hey, whoever you are, whatever you are, however you are, I'm happy to have you. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a blast. Hopefully this advice has been, you know, somewhat helpful. Probably hasn't been, but I hope it has been anyway. At Kitsubot on Twitter. Sure. Go there, guys. Why not? I like Truste. For us, guys, it's at you, me, and BTC. I have been Daniel Brown, and I have been here with the one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
There's probably like 400 Tim Bakers out there, but
yeah, no.
What difference does it make? All of them had their identity stolen today, so
oh shit.
At least this Tim still has his Bitcoin.
Thank God.
All right, guys, we'll see you next Thursday, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. It's been a literal blast. Stuff exploded, I think, on the show. So
crazy.
Come back next week for more explosions. The music on the podcast version.
Love you.
Like I said, remember, hey Google. Hey, Google, play the latest episode of You, Me, and BTC. There you go. Now you get to hear it again from the beginning. All right. Till next Thursday, guys. Peace out and enjoy the echo yet again.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.